Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Backstage with Builders podcast. Today, with me, I have Kristian, a good friend of mine who does marketing and sales for B2B companies. Kristian started his journey back in 2010. He started off as an underpaid cold caller, and since then, he has also been building his own stuff. He has worked for big corporations in tech sales. He did e-com in 2013. He also started training people on marketing in 2016-17. He has also built his own marketing agencies and has helped startups the past 2 years to multiply their revenue organically, mostly with the help of social media. Now, Kristian is building his own AI marketing SaaS application. It is kind of like your own marketing co founder, a chat based agent that is trained to shape your ideas. It challenges weak marketing angles and generates high converting outputs like ads, cold emails, blog strategies. Okay, welcome to the podcast, Kristian. I have
Uh,
given you an introduction already, but I think it's best you introduce yourself. So please.
so Christian, I live in Austria and I run a marketing agency and have been in marketing for over a decade, marketing and sales. Lately, also, I've been building some marketing startups and stuff like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
marketing is mainly my topic, marketing and sales. Yeah.
No, that's amazing. People don't know, but like most of my marketing stuff, I've learned from Kristian, right? So like I have to just put that out there, right? Right. And I think he's one of the best ones. Like honestly, like from a business standpoint, I think he teaches things like that make sense through like my logical, like law type brain. But like you are building now Coopa, and
Yeah.
Coopa is like the marketing, you can say SaaS platform. Now, like what exactly is it solving in terms of just problems?
So when I worked with startups the
Mhm.
past years, I realized startups have all the time the same problems. It doesn't matter in which niche you are.
Right.
And I thought, okay, also for me, because I tried to reduce the freelancing stuff, the agency
Mhm.
stuff, and try to also offer it to more people. And I thought, okay, I cannot copy myself, I cannot clone myself into 10
Right.
people. So I thought, okay, let's put my knowledge into a software, all the
Okay.
experience, all the real world knowledge that
Mhm.
I have. Let's combine it with the AI knowledge. And let's put something out there that is a one place basically for
Mhm.
mainly strategy, like the chat function, for example, is there for strategy. Then that function leads you to the content section, to the workspace, which allows you to save suggestions from the AI, create content out of that.
Mhm.
It allows you to generate blog posts, but not like just a regular platform where you like click and generate a blog post, but really, okay,
Right.
you have 6 personalities at Coopa and
Right.
you choose a personality that is, for example, an SEO expert, and you
Mhm.
discuss with this SEO expert what topics would make sense for my blog post, for example. And it gives you some suggestions, and out of that, you again can save it to your workspace, generate stuff out of that.
Mhm.
So basically, I tried really from 0 to 100 to solve the whole thing and make it reduce the time that you have to invest in marketing. And also, it's not just the time problem that people have, but also the finding ideas. What should I post about? What should I talk about?
Yeah.
What is actually relevant currently? What is working? What is not working for my business? Things like that. And
Mhm.
that's what I'm trying to solve with Coopa.
That
I'm
makes sense.
currently trying. It's actually super funny because I thought, okay, the main audience will be solopreneurs, basically small
Right.
business owners, stuff like that.
Mhm.
In the end, most users currently are marketing agencies.
Oh, okay. That's
So
that's interesting. Yeah. There you
yeah,
go.
that's an interesting fact that I
Yeah.
tried. I didn't do much marketing honestly because I was so focused on product
Mhm.
the past weeks and months. So
Mhm.
the marketing part just started basically. But most of the people that signed up and are
Mhm.
there are like marketing agencies. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
great. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But it was also maybe because of the bold headline that I added, place your
Yeah.
marketing agency.
Yeah.
Maybe that triggered some of them. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
They're doing
that's
market research themselves, like check like what's the actual deal, right? Like
yeah,
how's it doing that? That
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. That's the main idea. Of
No.
course, most importantly is that people go in and find their best use case for it. So Because there are a lot of possibilities that you can do with it. Okay, maybe
Mm,
somebody will come just for the blogs, maybe
mm,
somebody just for social media content, maybe
mm,
somebody just needs ideas for the strategy. Really depends, but you have all the capabilities.
mm,
It's credit based cost basically. So if you just use this feature, you're just
mm.
charged this feature. So
Ah, okay. That's smart though. I like that. No, but that's good. So like it's almost like your marketing partner at this point, right? It works with you, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's so much better than like just giving you suggestion and then also like doing things for you. Like because I think a lot of new people they don't understand marketing
Mm.
and they're not sure how to go about it, right? So that makes perfect sense to me. But like what's something that you think now that you are building and now that you have also like used it quite a bit, right? Like what's something like Coopa is doing like really well that people won't realize it, like it's doing that like quietly, you can say, in the background.
So what I like to say is that
Mm.
Coupa helps you think.
Right.
And I don't want to replace somebody. And I think AI and software still cannot replace people. Of course not. I mean, you read it on the internet that people are like, yeah, AI will replace all jobs.
Yeah, yeah,
That's nonsense. But I
yeah,
think in my case, what I'm trying to do there is I'm not trying to replace people. Although sometimes my marketing can be a bit bold,
yeah, yeah,
for the
yeah,
attention. But
yeah.
overall, I think it's important that people use it as a combination, as a support, as
Mm,
something that helps you think.
mm,
Because in the end, marketing is done by people, in my
right.
opinion. And the last, like, because also you read a lot about these automated workflows, innate
Mm,
and automation agents, whatever. In my opinion, there still should be a human touch point that decides, okay, this is good or this is not good, or rework this or redo this. And I think that's the place where Coupa is, that it triggers certain points in your brain for
mm,
ideas and stuff like
mm.
that, maybe also angles that you didn't think about.
Right,
And
that makes sense.
it basically helps you find the solution. It will not
Mm,
find the solution for you in the end,
mhm.
but it will work together with you so that
Mm.
you both basically find the solution together and then in the
Right.
end have a result.
No, that makes sense. It utilizes basically like human experience when it comes to it, right? And then gives you like the best case scenario to just move forward, right?
Yeah,
Then like
exactly.
speaking outside of it, then like just speaking like specifically about like marketing strategies, right? Since you have worked like over a decade in marketing, like what's one thing that you see like a mistake you can say people do with their even own marketing strategy that your product specifically just helps fix?
Yeah, specifically for this one, I wouldn't try to now market Cooper
Right,
as like this the best solution ever. But
right, right.
overall, if you're talking about strategies and the mistakes that people do, right? I think people overthink in the beginning a lot, and
Yeah.
they're spending more time with theory than
Mm,
actually doing stuff. Because
mm,
when I worked with startup founders, especially if you talk about startup founders, they
mm.
have like so many ideas and this and that and
Yeah,
whatever. And
yeah,
yeah, this guy told me that I should do this, and I read a
yeah, yeah.
blog article that told me that I should do this. And in the end, what I realized and what I saw a lot with people is that they spread their energy on 10 things, on
Mm,
10 marketing, because they want to be present there, they want to be present there, they want to be
right.
present here.
Mm,
In the end, if you're present everywhere, you're present
mm,
nowhere. Of
right.
course, if you have the budget, if you have the teams, but especially then it's possible. Of course, if you have the money, if you have millions of budget, you
Mm,
can do paid ads, you can do that, you can do
mm,
this.
mm,
But in my opinion, it's the most important thing that you find the strategy that you feel most comfortable with and where your audience is. The mistake that also a lot of people do, okay, how can I know where should I advertise? Where should I do the marketing? Where should I invest the energy? When you build a product or when you build a software service or whatever,
mm.
you usually should know already who is your customer, who will buy
Yeah.
it, right? If you're building something for, I don't know, startup founders, if you're building
Mm,
something for lawyers, you
mm.
should know stuff about these people. You should know
Yeah.
details. You should know where are these people. Okay. That's why when I onboard people, for
Mm,
example, for my marketing agency, first thing that I do is like an interview and ask them, okay, tell me about your business. What are you doing? What brought you success? What was a fail? And
mm.
then the first thing that I do is, okay, here's a form. Fill out your customer persona. I have like,
Like,
I don't know, 4 pages. Fill it out. People hate it, people hate to do it because it's like theoretical and you just want to waste time, whatever. But
Yeah.
after that, when they did that, most of the time they have at least an idea where people could be, right? If I fill out this form, let's say I'm building whatever software. Okay, I know Facebook is my main audience, or Facebook could be at least a potential audience there. So maybe I can try organic content. Maybe I could try cold DMing people. I could try paid ads. So the scope gets a bit smaller and you don't waste your energy on other things, right?
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
And I think
Focused.
that's the focus there. Of course, also theory is of course an important thing, but also then just do things, right? Because just thinking about thousands of strategies, looking at distractions, looking at secret hacks, they don't exist. Forget that. Just try to define a customer persona. Who is your customer? Where do they spend the most time at? And then start from there. And this customer persona, for example, is not something that you define like, okay, this is set in stone and this is what I will work for the next decade. No, that's not the case. Of course, you have to redefine it. Okay, you talk with people. Okay, you see, okay, this is not their main problem. This is their main problem. And stuff like that.
Okay.
You refine it all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's like the approach that I would start working with, basically.
No, that makes sense. So it's more so like removing the luck from it, right? Like just knowing what you are even doing before you start doing it, right? Because a lot of people just like focus on, like I've also, by the way, done this. Like I've just been everywhere, right? Like, so I didn't know, like my main audience was startups, but in startups, it's like, it could be like 100 different types of startups, right? So no, that makes sense. But since you are building your own thing, right? Like, has there been any case when you were like developing your own product, when you were like even using it, you thought like, okay, like Coopa might just work for me, or like other people now?
Yeah, so as I said, I knew the problem because I got the experience from it, and I built it because I mainly wanted to solve my own problems and my customers' problems. That's why I built it. This is the main reason. It was nothing that I built like, okay, this could be maybe a nice to have, or I read about it, but it was like, okay, I want to have this. I think my customers would need this. That's why I will build it. And yeah.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, that's good though. I like that then. And then whenever you are like actually just marketing then for other people or anything like that, do you have like your go-to like questions that you normally ask them? Like just to like before marketing even a product, just to understand it better, or like the market even.
Yeah, so basically, when I work with people, people think like, okay, I have this magic stick and I start right away doing stuff for them, and I'm the magician. No, that's not the case. Just usually what I do is that I have onboarding calls with people and I ask a lot of questions about
That's good though. Yeah.
what did work in the past, what didn't work, where do they invest the time currently, what are strategies that actually work currently, where are investing their money, who is their customer persona, stuff like that. So basically I try to really understand people's products more, and in the end it's also for me important that we have like I have a Miro board usually that I work with. Create a Miro board with strategies, with data points, and we fill that out together with a calendar. And also what I see with people that they're just doing things, they have maybe moderate success with it, but they don't check, like they don't have checkpoints. Okay, what I usually try to do with people is, okay, let's try this for a month. Let's see what happens. Let's get the data out. Okay, this maybe worked. This didn't work. Let's change a bit. Okay, this worked better. So that you also have data points, but a lot of startup founders are too lazy for that. They're like just doing stuff. Of course, that's important in the beginning. But if you are at the scaling phase, it's important that you have like data points that you see, okay, I invest $10,000 a month into Google Ads and the result is XYZ. Okay, that's good. Let's continue it. Let's maybe scale it, but not like doing it for months and months over and over again, not even knowing your data, not checking things and so on.
No, that makes sense. I feel like that's what I call like I've seen it on even on social media. It's like it's advice without context, right? People say like, oh, you have to just be consistent with things that you are doing. But if you're just consistent with doing the wrong things, then you can't improve, right? And the only way you can check if it's a wrong thing if you analyze it, right? Like you said, with data points, right? If it's even a good thing or not, right? And then continue, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people just end up doing that. at least on the marketing end, right? They don't understand it. And I've also, by the way, just done that. When I started off, I feel like I just did things because I thought that that's the just doing things. This is the way to just improve it. But now I realize how much that is not true. We just have to know how much impact something is even generating. But then, like, if I'm to like flip the script on that, then you might have also done something and you started off as like a marketing, you can say, person, like salesperson, right? And back then, if you were to just go back in time, what's something like you would just do differently for like other products, or like even for like the other customers and such, now that you have decades of knowledge?
So what I would have done differently, you mean for my service, or
Yeah.
what customers should have
Yes,
done, or what do you
yeah,
mean?
everything like service, or maybe even like your own products in the past and such, in
Uh,
terms of just marketing.
yeah, it's difficult to say. If I could spin back time and
Yeah.
would know things that didn't work, of course I
Yeah.
wouldn't have done them.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
100%.
what I learned over time, what I didn't do in the beginning, is that I think the communication. Also, I'm just talking about my service, right? But that
Right.
communication with the customer is super important, especially as a service provider. That you talk with people, that you have more check-ins, that you discuss things, even if it's just like a 50 minutes call, that you just check the data together, that you look over things. That's something I didn't do in the beginning. And also in the beginning, what I did is I expected people to understand what I'm talking about right away.
Yeah.
If I used like marketing terms,
Yeah.
when I talked about CPC,
Yeah.
CPA,
Yeah.
whatever, people
Yeah.
pretended to know what it is, and they actually didn't know what it is. That's also something that I got more sensitive for, but that I explain things twice, 3 times, 4 times, until I'm 100% sure that the
Yeah.
other person understands what I'm talking about.
No, that makes sense. Communication, right? That's the whole thing. Then, because I feel like a lot of issues even start happening when it comes to communication, at least on the legal side, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
since we are on the legal side, then like since you have worked with so many companies and founders and such, right? You have also like hired people or done that in the past. Like, is legal something you take seriously as a marketing founder? Or if you were to take one thing seriously, at least on the legal side, right, for your company or like other people that you have seen in the like field, what is one thing you would like never skip on when it comes to legal?
So most important, I mean, I hear a lot of people talking about contracts, that contracts are not relevant. They don't need contracts. But I realized
Yeah.
contracts are actually good for both sides, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's not just that it's safety net for me if I screw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everybody tries to get the best out of it. But I think if things are settled, if things are documented somewhere, we agreed on something, especially like in this digital age. Of course, my father used to close contracts
Yeah.
shaking the other person's hand,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
online, this is the shaking hands, right? The contract, and that you
Right.
define things. And that's the main thing that I try to do with people, like that we discuss the terms, that we discuss results, that we discuss, okay, if things don't go the way that we plan, like nowadays world, everything can
Yeah,
happen.
people don't do, yeah, especially all the gurus and such. They don't do anything they
Yeah,
say
I
they
mean,
do.
I've heard from competitors,
Yeah.
so my competitors, other marketing agencies, setting up sketchy contracts that people cannot get out. I think that's
Yeah.
that's that's not the way that you can work with people. I think that's so. Yeah, contracts, discussing contracts, especially with people, before you just send it to people, that you discuss the terms, that you have something in written form. If something goes wrong, that both parties have a safety net in the end. And also, you tend to forget things, right? If I'm working with people for over 6 months, I forgot what we agreed on 6 months ago. But
Yeah.
it is still a contract there. We both know what is in there. Yeah,
No, that makes sense. Like for you, it just becomes like a good communication tool
yeah,
if anything goes wrong, right? I think
definitely.
that's how like a lot of people need to also like start treating contracts, right? Like people think that they need contract like only when things go wrong, but like that's generally not the case. You need the contract for things to not go wrong, because otherwise there is assumptions like, okay, you said this, I said this, right? Oh, that makes sense. And right now, by the way, you are not doing anything with people in terms of Coopa, right? You are doing everything solo. And I speak with a lot of people who are building their own things solo, right? Doing their own business solo. And the one thing, especially on Reddit, I keep seeing this like post after post. They're like, I started 2 months ago. How do I stay consistent? How do I stay focused? I don't see the results. I thought I'd be a millionaire. Like, what do you have to say, like, for those people?
You mean how to stay consistent, basically?
Yeah, basically, like, or like when things are not even working for you, like, how do you still stay consistent? Do you have like systems, tricks, mental tricks? Like, do you do yoga or something?
So I can
Yeah,
tell you honestly,
yeah,
every day something goes wrong.
yeah,
Several times, and I don't know. So what works for me is just discipline. I'm just doing things. I like what I do. That's the
mm,
most important thing,
mm,
that you don't just start because you mentioned now, okay, there are people that mention, okay, well, I want to do something for 2 months. I'm
yeah,
trying it. I'm still not rich. If rich is your goal, you
yeah,
probably will not succeed, because
yeah,
you still have to like what you do, right? And I
yeah,
enjoy this marketing stuff. There are so many things to learn that there I can never know everything. That's not
mm,
possible. And for me, the learning is the main thing there. Basically, with every new customer, with every new person that I get to know, I
mm,
learn things. And basically, as I said, like discipline, just motivation. And because also know a lot of people, I also have friends that are not entrepreneurs, that are trying things for 1 week, and they're like, yeah, this is so hard, I lost the motivation.
mm,
In the end, motivation is not long term. And what is for me, what helps me basically is like,
mm,
I have this big vision, I have this big idea, to become the best marketer in the world,
yeah.
basically.
That's good.
And yeah, that's my goal, and that I need discipline to achieve this.
Mm.
And this is not possible with just motivational talk and watching motivational
Yeah.
videos, and also not with money. Like, I had good months, I had bad months. This didn't impact my motivation. So of course,
Mm,
in the beginning, when you make your first money and your first paycheck with
mm,
freelancing, whatever, you're like,
mm.
yeah, great. But then over time, it's like, okay, yeah, that's just part of the game.
Right.
Value exchange in the end. Of course, you need to pay bills, stuff like that. But
Mm,
in the end, I think you need a bigger picture. You need to like actually what you do.
mm.
And yeah, just discipline.
Discipline is the main thing. Yeah. No, it makes sense. And also, like, it ends up always taking like more time than like you would even set out for yourself. I think 2 months I feel like is nothing for like a lot of people, right? And I think false also, you can say vision is being sold right now on social media, where people say, oh, I worked with this founder for a month and look at him now, right? And they post screenshots, right? But the main thing is, I never see names of these people. Who are these?
Mm,
Who did
mm,
he
mm,
even help? Is
mm,
it even a real person, right?
mm,
But no, that makes sense. And then final question for you, right? Coopa, now you are building it. You have it out right now too, right? And on product, and I think you launched today. So congratulations on that. And
thanks.
what's the future then? Do you feel like with Coopa? Like, do you plan on working on this like long term, or like what is there something you are excited for people to try out in it, or like something you want to build in it
Yeah,
now?
so the main idea is, as I said, to continue building Coopa, to also take some feedback from people, improve the product. And long term, as I said, long term, I want to have a portfolio of marketing tools that all work
That's good
together,
though. Yeah.
that I can combine with my service, that
Mm,
some people can use on their own completely without
mm,
anybody. Yeah, so basically systemize marketing a bit
mm,
better,
mm.
but not the main idea is not to replace marketers or whatever.
Mm.
The main idea is to help people think, to help people strategize their marketing, to help people find direction in their marketing, but in a fun way, not in a boring theoretical way that you can
Yeah.
read an article, what is that, what is this strategy. No, but in
Yeah.
like in an engaging way, to have a portfolio of products that solve
Mm, mm.
most marketing problems for businesses. And yeah, that's the main goal.
That's good though. That's good though. I mean, I'll be looking out for it, and obviously like supporting and everything. And again, like thank you so much for joining, Christian. This was like really fun for me, and I'll have everything related like your website, your social media. Kristian is only on, by the way, X. He doesn't like LinkedIn, so I'll cover him there. And yeah, nice speaking with you, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.